Alright, we're live.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, everyone's moms. Except yours, Billy, because you've not been watching us. I'm sorry, Billy.
You've been a bad boy.
I'm just waiting for my YouTube to update so that I can actually get this stream link.
Mhm.
And then we'll kick things off once I've got the stream link. Whoa, that was a lot of lag for my computer, Jesus. There we go. Update so that I can actually let's shift this in the chat. Stream links.
Yeah.
Alright. So, we're not going to do it previously on Digimon this time because we're a player down. Well, 3 players down if you count the 2 that haven't been
One
here
player
for,
down.
like a month. So, just for anyone on the stream that's watching, hello. And also, we'll be doing a flashback episode today, delving into the past of Gulfmon and his demon lords, general people that are his friends. Let's hope it adds some backstory to the game that we're going to be playing in the Dark Area next week. Well, actually, for the week after, because I'm not free next Sunday. Sorry about that.
Honore!
And you're telling me now?
You could have said that a bit earlier.
Wait, what? Sorry?
Nothing. It's like, we have the calendar ready, so you could have said something earlier.
I only found out today that my wife has made plans and I can't.
I
So
see.
I was going to let you know today.
Honore!
At least I'm not telling you 2 seconds before the session. So that's.
Yeah, I mean, who
that's
would do that, right? Or like 20 seconds after or 20 minutes after the session, for example.
No.
That would be nice.
I'm sure that he was just incredibly busy today, so.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking with
He has his reasons. Anyway, yeah, so let's kick things straight off. So, I need some more eerier kind of music. Than
Yes,
this
I
nice
will-
chilled guitar. We'll start from a shot of the dark area. I would like to first zoom in on Pillowmon. She's just been. In fact, she's not even Pillowmon at the moment. So we're gonna zoom in on a giant pyramid. It's stones, each inscribed with ancient symbols on the sides of the bricks. They glow a bright gold as the camera pans in on them. And then we get a shot of the inside. We see Sekamon fly through a gap in the top tunnel. He lands on the ground and furls his wings behind his back, stands. I have another for you, Anubismon. This one seems to have failed the test, he says as he holds a big ball of pinkish data in his hands. And for the first time on screen, since I planned him a while ago, we see Anubismon. He reaches out his long dog-like arms, grabbing hold of the pink mass of data. Actually, I should take off the starting soon screen. Taking off the taking the pink mass of data from Sekamon. This is Pillowmon's data, and it is fully sentient and conscious right now. It can see everything that is going on around it. It can see what is happening to it.
Oh, that's horrifying.
It's just been purged. It died in the Dark Zone as potentially a champion or an ultimate Digimon. and has been reborn a Pillarmon. Reborn a bunch of data, as Secamon's judged its soul. What would be Pillamon's, or I guess whatever Digimon he was in this life, what would their reaction be to being literally a helpless ball of data?
Being out there, not able to being conscious while being unable to do anything, say anything, just helplessly looking at these monstrous godlike figures just toy with you. I don't imagine it will be very pleasant. Probably very stressful. What is going on? What am I going to? Am I going to die? What is going? Just very confused, very scared.
So I think the data's squirming in Anubismon's hand, trying to like escape his grasp. But as you do, he squeezes tighter, causing pain throughout the data. He's like crushing some ones and zeros. Secamon, how many times do I have to tell you? It is not your duty to test these souls. It is your duty to bring them to me to be judged. I will see whether this soul is worth saving or not. Whether it's learned its lesson yet, he says. We see Secamon kneel before Anubismon and bow deeply. I'm sorry, master, he says. I got carried away. I'll be better next time, he says. I just was hopeful that perhaps this one might be worth purifying and setting free. It's been through the cycle so many times. It's been here for, well, since as long as I can remember, he says. Even if that may be so, Secamon. Souls like these are irredeemables. If we can purify even one of them, he says as he places the data down next to 4 others, perhaps we can bring a new light to this digital world, he says. Remember that this is the task set upon us by the 3 great angels. Now I'll judge thee, he says. He waves a hand in front of him and a scale appears. He places all 5 of the souls on one side of the scale. He places 5 feathers on the other side of the scale. The scales start tipping and shifting as it weighs up the souls on either side. We see the scales completely tip heavy towards the soul side, and the feathers shoot up into the air. Yes, it's as you predicted, Secamon. No change. These will have to reincarnate within the dark area and live out a torturous existence once more. I hope they'll learn their lesson soon. Perhaps if we put them together, perhaps if they befriend one another, they will grow into Digimon worthy of the digital world once more, he says. And as he casts a hand over Pillamon's data, it encases in an egg, and he does the same with all the others, and they all have varying different patterns on them. Pillamon's egg is got pink polka dots all over it. You've got a sort of purplish egg that has blood red lines running through it. One sec, I have misplaced my booklet somewhere. I'll go look for that in just a second. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we have a sort of yellowish egg with zigzags across it, and we've got a sort of purple egg with a strangely shaped like cow patches all over it, and then one that looks like a turtle shell. Cast these back into the dark zone, Secamon. Make sure they land together. We'll see if this experiment succeeds. he says. And Sekamon grabs the eggs and flies throughout the dark area to find a suitable place for you to make your new homes. And that's where we'll open. You guys hatch from your eggs. So, if I remember correctly, you want to play Pillowmon, obviously, Sonia, because it's your partner Digimon.
Yeah.
And Kageyaki, you're going to be playing Psychmon, who is probably going to be something more like a Punimon at this point. But and Pillowmon will probably be whatever Pillowmon's in training is. I can't remember what it is. Do you know what it is, Sonia?
The first one is Yukimi Botamon, and then Moonmon. So yeah.
So maybe we see you. Maybe it's like a quick flash montage of you guys growing up as babies, trying to survive in the dark area. We see you guys get taken in by a kind, like Garurumon or something that's sort of wandering the wasteland, and like it tries to feed you whatever it can, and then eventually, once you guys become rookies and are able to fend for yourselves, not fend for yourselves, but at least not just instantly die. He leaves you be because he can't look after all 5 of you anymore, and leaves you on your own in the dust and the sandstorm whipping up against your faces. He imparts upon you maybe a final message before he leaves that sort of resonates within you guys, saying, "Survival of the fittest out here. You'd be wise to remember that. Take what's yours and keep hold of it tight." And then the Gavurumon leaves into the wasteland, forever disappearing. Maybe we'll see him again. Maybe we won't. Who knows? Maybe you already have seen him again. Maybe it is Gavurumon. Who knows?
For how many cycles?
Okay, so you guys have known each other for maybe it takes maybe like a week for your Digimon to become rookie level. So you've known each other for about a couple of weeks now. You have a little friendship group going. You kind of look out for each other. You have Pillowmon, who is the sort of I don't want to say that they're the leader yet, because obviously they eventually become Golfmon and become the leader.
Yeah. I would
say
assume they're not quite confident yet. They're just unassuming and just being part of the group, just like anyone else. It's only afterwards that you probably grow into a role.
Cool. And then we have Psychmon, which you're going to be playing, Kageyaki. What kind of character are they going to be like? What kind of personality do they have?
Well, at this point, thanks to Garurumon, they haven't faced enough hardships for him to grow like jaded and stuff. So he would still be the typical happy-go-lucky Psychmon who is ignorant to how the world actually works.
Cool. You have with you your friends, Devimon. He is charismatic, charming. He has a bit of a silver tongue. He's quite ambitious, and he wants to sort of live like a king if he can. We've got Meikumon. She's relatively shy. She's sort of good friends with Pillowmon, I'd expect, because they're both quite shy characters. But she's a bit more fierce, whereas if she's provoked, whereas Pillowmon's a bit more passive. Then we have Kamimon, who's sort of like the group prankster, joker kind of character. He likes to sort of play pranks on you all and joke around and have fun, even if he's just trying to make the most out of a bleak situation, basically. Cool. So yeah, you've just been left completely on your own to fend for yourselves for the first time. What's the plan of action? What do you guys do in this situation of being left completely alone with nowhere to live, no food, no allies, just each other?
Well, Pilmon is rightly just confused about being left out all of a sudden, but she finds comfort in the knowledge that she is together with some like-minded Digimon. She is not the leader type, so she would refer to the other skulls uh, and just follow whatever whatever they decide to do. That being said, she would just make sure that everyone is okay and just comfort them when need be. Just it's all right, guys. I'm sure we'll manage together. Eh, that can't be that bad, right? We're grown-ups now.
We're not grown-ups. We're just children, says Meikumon. How dare he just leave us on our own like this? I don't want to be alone. What are we going to do? We're going to die here. We're not as powerful as we used to be in our last lives. I'm scared, Pilomon. She sort of like hides behind you when everyone's attention turns to her. She gives you all a bit of a sort of like scowly look when you all like look over at her. Well, I don't know about you guys, says Kamimon, but first things first, right? We gotta go find some food. Come on, guys. This ain't so bad. Look, we could make up our own lives again. Start from scratch. It'll be great. Just you watch. We got each other this time. Don't have to be alone. You don't know how lonely my last life was. It's great to have friends like you guys, he says.
Ooh, so we have full memories of our past lives?
Yes.
Ooh.
At this present time you do.
Oh, do we? I was going to play the full amnesiac route.
I mean, maybe some of you are amnesiacs and some of you can remember your previous lives, or maybe it's like flashes. Like, we hadn't really established it, so I just assumed they'd kept their memories, especially because you were sort of conscious during the reincarnation process. Or maybe you guys are like special Digimon who just aren't memory wiped for some reason by Anubismon. Maybe that's something we can like explore.
That would make it harder to be happy-go-lucky.
Okay, well, change. We haven't actually spoken as Astamon yet, so we can change what his personality is. Do you want him to already be jaded?
I mean, if he has his memories, it's hard not to be jaded. If he has his memories, then I got to think. That's a completely different character now.
Okay, I'll give you a chance to think. I think Devimon flies to the front of everybody, flapping his wings. He's like, well, I don't know about you all, but I'd quite like to find some food too. I'm with Kamimon on this. Let's head out, he says. And he starts flapping his wind, and like a big gust of wind billows with a big pile of sand, and it smashes into him. And he like gets like plunged into the sand below, and he like claws his way out and spits it out, and he's like, God, I hate this place. I can't wait to get back to the digital world, back to my good friend Cherrymon. I'm sure he misses me greatly.
Oh boy.
He got storm coming.
Listen, I know that we're put together for some reason, but if push comes to shove, you're all expendable to me. I hope you understand, he says. We were put together, that doesn't mean I have to like you, he says. You have to earn my respect. So, are you coming, or am I leaving you in the sand? He says. He like unfurls his rings and flaps the sand off them that he just got buried in, trying to sort of brush off the embarrassment that just happened. He takes flight and heads off into the sandstorm. Once we found some food, perhaps we can make a shelter or something. It's gonna be hard to live in just a sandstorm all the time. Maybe we can find our old digs. Where'd you come from, Pilama?
Where did I come from? I'm not quite sure. It's been so long since I've been, brought back to this place over and over. I'm starting to think I've always been there now, but I don't know. I have flashes of bright blue sky sometimes, and green fields.
Bright green fields? Don't tell me this is your first reincarnation.
Well, not quite sure. Maybe. No, I don't think. Why, is that bad? Is it bad if I dream of this? Oh, please tell me it's not bad.
Of course it's not bad. Someone slaps you on the back. You see two floating petit maman behind you. One of them's got a little cane. She's got like a little bat symbol on her head, and another is holding a little booklet in his hand. Of course it's okay to remember where you came from before here, but at some point all that's gonna fade away if we don't get out of here, he says. Listen, I only follow the strongest Digimon, because I know if I follow them, I'll survive. You don't look so strong. I don't know if I can trust you, he says.
I can be strong.
And she puffs her cheeks and try to extend a pillow-like body, but obviously it has no discerning muscle to this shape.
The other petite maman like tugs on her wings, and he's like, "Come on, sis, we can trust them. Like, we don't have to always follow the strongest. Like, maybe these guys have other uses that they can help us, and we can help them, right?" She sort of gives him a weird like scowl when he says that. Don't mind him, he's just my younger brother. Always the optimist, getting his nose wet, all that kind of stuff. Sentimental fool he is. Come on, I gotta catch up to Devimon, otherwise we're all gonna be sitting ducks out here. And she like flies on her head, and her brother's like, wait up, and like flies on after her.
Well, you probably should follow them, guys. Meikumon, Psychmon.
Strength.
Still hesitating.
Meikumon's like punches Pillamon on the shoulder. You're coming too, silly. And she like drags Pillamon along with her. Wouldn't leave you behind anyway. It's just cruel. We're not like that Garurumon. Don't you worry, I won't abandon you while I'm here.
Hope this isn't foreshadowing of anything.
I am setting up a lot of foreshadowing hooks that we can bite on if we want to.
Yeah, there's a lot of flags going on. That is pretty...
Wow.
What's Psychmon's deal right now then, Kageaki? Sorry, I'm calling you by your character name still because of the names on the server. Eleanor.
Oh my god!
You have a name. What is Psychmon's sort of outlook on this situation? He's obviously been revived. He's been sort of raised in a family by Garurumon. It's just been abandoned, and you don't particularly like each other right now. You're sort of just hanging out together because you have to, because you want to survive. How does... Because Psychmon, he values friendship, right? He just doesn't like people that like against him. Isn't that his sort of deal?
In his case, the speech about strength is hanging deep inside his head, and he's starting to figure out that pure physical strength isn't really what we should be looking for. It's more like strength coupled with actual kindness that Pilomon has. Because if we just get strength, good for us. We live a single good life here, and then we just get sent back. And nothing changes. But if we find someone who actually has a heart as well, there's a very solid chance of getting out.
So he's searching for his own heart.
He's searching for his own heart, or at the very least, someone who has one to lead him. And right now, that someone appears to be Pilomon.
Ooh, fast follower. Let's go. Speed run.
Cool. So when Meikumon starts dragging away Pillowmon, I'm assuming Psychmon comes along with them.
Yeah,
Cool.
He sticks back those two.
Has Psychmon clocked Pillowmon already as somebody who has that heart? Or is he sort of still a bit wary of her? Because she's somehow got herself into this dark zone.
he's still not sure, but it's his best bet so far, so...
Okay, cool.
Or rather than just aimlessly searching for someone, might as well stick with the one he has now.
Cool. So after a little while of wandering the dark zone together, the sand buffeting away at your skin, aside from Psychmon, who actually has naturally evolved fur on top of his dinosaur-like body to protect him from the sand. You guys eventually find some baby Digimon who have just freshly hatched from their eggs. We see a Punimon. We see... I'm gonna have to remember all baby names now. What's the one that looks like a grandpa? He's like covered in fur, like white fur.
Uramon?
Uramon,
I
that
think.
was it. You see a Uramon, a Punimon, and probably a Koromon.
No, Koromon is too big. A Zeramon, maybe.
Zeramon.
I think that was the name. The yellow blob.
Zuru.
Zurumon.
Zurumon.
Zurumon, yeah. The peace one.
Ah, yeah, I see. The one that looks like a puddle. Okay, yeah. You see that and Punimon and Uramon. They've just freshly hatched from their eggs. They see you guys approaching. There's terror in their eyes, and they run as fast as they can away from you, which isn't very fast. They literally bounce and slime. The Zurumon can't move very well on the sand because its body is entirely liquid. It keeps sinking into the sand and then like swimming its way back up, and it can't move very well. We see at the front Devimon immediately beelines for them. His face looks bloodthirsty. His fangs are boar, and he. Sorry, this music's putting me off. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. He like literally beelines for the Uramon, not wanting to go for the easy prey of Zurumon. He wants to sort of show off. He swoops down and he grabs it in his sort of demon-like feet, lifting it up into the air, laughing while he does so.
Oh.
What is Psychmon Pillamon's reaction to Devimon's attack on these little in-training Digimon?
Psychmon will study Pilomon's reaction and see what cues he gives.
Hmm. Uh, well, Piramon is kind of conflicted about this. She wants to react. Wait a minute. But she knows how harsh things are here and that they're supposed to stick together. So maybe she shouldn't raise an objection. So she immediately just shuts down after voicing concerns, and doubting ourselves.
Maybe. Wait. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. Um.
Pilomon,
Yeah. Yes. Uh,
what do you want to do to them?
well, I don't know. I mean, it's
Do we s-
survival.
Do we
Save
snatch
them.
them, or do we pull a Garurmon?
I. I don't. Maybe you can talk to them first. Maybe if they're bad, we can eat them. But we should ask if they want to be eaten first. I'm sure they'll understand if we tell them.
And she is going to rush towards the little ones that are currently being chased by the Midavimon.
Excuse me. You don't happen to be evil, by chance? Because we are looking for food. But it would be rude if we just ate you. So you would tell us if you are evil, right?
Which Digimon is she saying that to?
The one that is currently the most in danger too, probably.
The one
Oh,
cut then.
So that'd be Euromon, who's been caught in Devimon's claws. I think Devimon like immediately snaps at you, and he's like, "I caught us dinner. You don't talk to your food, do you? Eat up." He like points down at the very struggling Zurumon trying to not to sink through the sand. You need to grow stronger if you're going to survive here. The more data we consume, the faster we'll grow, and the more we'll be able to look out for ourselves, he says. Being nice is not something that'll get you far in this place.
Oh, well, maybe, but well, the way I see it, I don't want to be rude or anything, but it's just, I think, if it were me instead of them at this moment, I think I'd be okay being eaten, but I wouldn't want to be surprised and ambushed like this. I wouldn't mind being eaten if it was to help out somebody else. You know what I mean? So I'm sure if we ask for their permission first, it will be okay.
I did not expect you to go that direction, to be honest. Oh boy.
I think
she is still a child and confused about the way things are. She doesn't have a strong vision of the world just yet. You know, she has emotions and doesn't really know how to deal with them. So she is currently saying like maybe eating is right, maybe it's not. She's not sure yet, but she just wants to make sure it is the right thing to do
Alright,
in her
let's
own way.
let's try to give a nod, I guess. Alright. Sorry, you want to say?
I was going to say the Petite Mammon sister is going to approach Pillamon when she says, you know, I'd offer myself to be eaten. And she's like, "Ah, so you want to be food, huh? Well, that's good. Can I eat you?" She says. She has this sort of shit-eating grin on her face, like, you know, she's trying to make you regret what you just said. The other Petite Mammon like pulls on her wig and she's like, "Come on, sis, you don't want to eat her. She's one of our friends. We grew up with her." And she like pushes him to one side and says, "You're getting soft on me, kid. This is a dog-eat-dog world. I'll eat you if I have to," she says, and she like snarls at him. and he sort of like buries his head in the sand and hides.
Alright. Psychmon will like grab some sort of makeshift bowl from some random outer broken part of a machine and scoop up the Zurumon.
Cool. You scoop up the Zurumon. You probably scoop him with like a shoulder plate of some Digimon that's passed away here, like a Gardramon's
Yeah,
shoulder or
something of that vague shape.
Cool. Yeah, you scoop up the Zurumon. It turns in the shoulder pads, sees that it like has been caught in a shoulder thing. It screams like ah, and then like jumps straight off the shoulder pad back into the sand. You hear it muffle, "Please don't eat me! Please don't eat me! I only just got here. I don't know what's going on."
Cool. She scoops it up again. You know, if Garurumon had the same mindset of you, PbtA, we also wouldn't have made it this far.
Yeah, well, that Garurumon was soft.
That Garurumon was soft, but it's why you're alive.
Yeah, we got lucky. We shouldn't have eaten.
Maybe the strength we're looking for isn't simply brute force. Maybe it's something else. We've all had lives where we grew strong by ourselves, correct? How did that one work out for us? I personally can't even remember the outside world at this point. I've just been fighting and fighting by myself. And going back to square one. Over and over.
I think she like
But what-
squares up to you at this point, and she's like, "Listen here, punk.
Punk?
Every single time you've died, who's killed you, huh? Somebody stronger than you. Somebody who has more power than you. So to survive in this world,
Huh?
we just need to grasp that power. You understand? We need to follow that power. Be
Follow up.
protected by that power."
Follow-up question. What do you think happened to whoever killed me? Every single time.
I don't know.
I can
They
tell
got
you.
eaten by something bigger.
They're still here. Everyone who goes for dog eats dog is still here. What if that's a flawed way of going about it? What if strength in numbers is the actual way to go about it?
Strength in numbers. Look, I don't care about numbers, okay? I care about following the strongest Digimon there is. Staying in his shadow to stay safe. That is the way to survive in here. Okay? If you're gonna go all pansy and weak on me and talk about friendship and bonds, you can hit the road, she says.
You gotta
please,
see.
I think the other Petit Mammon like scrambles to his feet and he's like, but maybe he has a point, sis. We can't just, you know, wander this place forever and continue this terrible cycle. It's terrifying living here. Maybe friendship is the way forward. Maybe an alliance is in order. Maybe following in the footsteps of the strongest Digimon just ends up with us getting used as cannon fodder. Did you ever think of that, sis? She like throws a fireball at his feet. And she's like, Shut up! All of you shut up! I don't need this from you guys. She starts like flapping her wings and flying in the opposite direction. I'm gonna go find my own food. You guys are making it taste sour.
Wait a minute.
Pailman is going to go float in front of Petit Mammon, well, the big sis Petit Mammon.
Wait, calm down, everyone. There's no need to fight amongst ourselves. I don't know if getting strength with numbers or getting strong all by yourselves is the right answer or anything, but But what I do know is that we shouldn't be yelling at each other. It's not like we're doing anything wrong, right? It's not like we chose to be in here in the first place. Like, do you remember those big monstrous Digimon that put us in here? I don't remember many things of my past lives, but every time when I see those figures towering over me and holding me like was some sort of, I don't know. I'm just saying that it's scary out there. I don't know if I'm making a coherent point, but we all know what it's like to suffer in this place, and we understand the rules. But 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 maybe I'm saying don't be mad towards us, even if we are not friends. We could be companions. No?
Could you roll to plead with her? Not plead. So roll
Ooh.
to not plead. That's a different game that I've been playing this week. Could you roll to provoke her, please?
Okay, but
What's our stats?
So how we'll make it more abstract than just roll Sonia's stats. How good at persuading people is Pillowmon? Like, does she have prior experience in doing that? Is she seen as a sort of sociable Digimon who can get along with anyone, or is she more of an outcast who doesn't understand people? That kind of angle.
well, as many things at once all of a sudden, but I would say that she is trying to get along with everyone, but that might, on the contrary, make her seem like a weirdo, in this world. Trying to ease tensions wherever she can, and just eating as a last resort, and fighting. But as you can see, Pilomon is not a very aggressive Digimon, so she wouldn't just waltz in and make her demands like other Digimon. So I don't know if she would be very successful in persuading others. She would certainly grow into that role, but
So she's not very authoritative. She's not very can't see the bigger
Not-
picture very well. She's just sort of has willpower, if that makes sense. Like, I want this
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
this
yeah.
way, but I don't know how to do it. Okay, so I guess
That's-
that would mean
that's
she'd
about
have
it.
a rather low superior then.
Mhm. It makes sense.
Would you say it's below 0? Like, does she has
Below,
absolutely
yes.
no superior, or would it be like?
Probably not absolute 0, because apparently Psychmon sees something in Pilomon, and she has and Mekumon already seems to have some sort of connection with her. So I would say she has some sort of way of making others look at her, but not only briefly, I'd say. So probably a -1 at most. But she has a little something, but she's not fully there yet. You see what I mean?
I see what you mean. Okay, roll with superior at -1.
-1, yeah. I should have thought this through. I should have given myself a +3. What am I doing?
Hey, it's
Yeah.
it's more fun to give yourself a lower number, because then if
Skill
things go
issue.
wrong, it actually adds to the story a bit better. But you rolled quite well, it seems. Oh no, wait, that's last week's roll. My
Oh,
bad.
Yep, not this one. 5.
Okay.
Cool.
Sadly. If I given it myself a +3, that would have been a success.
Or
Oh,
at least a +0. All future leader with -1 superior.
Listen
Oh,
here,
well.
you dandelion. She says. She grabs Pillowon by the woolly ring around its head, and pulls it close, so they're face to face, as close as possible.
Ouch.
If you think I'd keep you as a companion, you got another thing coming. 5 of us wouldn't stand a chance against the strongest Digimon in here. We'll die before we even achieve anything. we at least need a foundational level of power before we can do anything. If you don't even understand that, what are you even doing here? Just get eaten by a bigger Digimon already and do us a favor, she says. She like tosses you aside and into the ground. I'm gonna say that Pillowmon is gonna mark insecure.
Yes. I don't know where I put it, but
Just put it in the.
Put it in put it in Sonia's for now, because like she has no conditions at all.
yeah, she doesn't have anything. Okay, I'll put it there.
And then obviously we'll take them out when the session ends.
I'll
Yep.
just slap them in one of the lesser used chats and then delete the message afterwards.
Yeah, you can put it in the dice roll chat if you want. Actually, that'd probably work. Or you can just do it on Sonia's playbook if that's easier. It's up to you.
I'll slap it
Oh.
in the player chat and then just delete afterwards.
I'll do the playbook on my own because I do not have any conditions, so it's fine.
Cool. Yeah, so she throws you into the ground, makes you feel pathetic, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Being told that you're powerless and go get eaten already, she is not feeling good about this.
It's like, newsflash, if you want people to follow you, at least have some semblance of power about you. And she starts flying off into the distance. And you
Alright,
see
Petit
the other-
Mammon. Have a nice reincarnation.
You see the other Petit Maman go, Sis, wait, come back! And he like trips over into the sand and falls face first. He like spits out some sand. He's like, wait, come back, don't leave me here. I'm not dead weight, I promise. I can show my worth. I'll be strong. Just come back.
We're pulling two Devil May Cry moments right in a row.
And then we have Kamimon just like jump in between, and he's like, hey, it's not all bad. Look, you got us. He says, look, we'll find your sister later when she's cooled her head off, right? You just come with me, right? We'll have a good time. We'll find some nice Digimon to eat and get stronger while we're here, okay? See, Devimon's already caught a Euromon. He like points over at the Euromon. Yeah, but Pillowmon, are you some kind of vegetarian or something? What, you don't want to eat?
Oh, it's just that see, I'm a sleepy Digimon, so I tend to sleep a lot, so I don't need as much food as everyone else. Yes.
She is lying, but yeah, that seems
Kamimon-
plausible enough.
Kamimon like strokes his chin and is like, I've only heard of a couple of Digimon that actually gain power from sleeping, but I don't know, maybe you're one of them. He says, and he's like, right, come with me, Petit Mammon. Psychmon, you too. You need to get your strength up.
Alright, how about this then? We all heard the assholes back at whatever that room was, saying some self-righteous bullshit. Yes?
Yeah, we hear him every time. There's the big wolf-winged Digimon and the big bird. I don't know who they are. Secker or something? And Anubimon? I don't know.
In that case, if we're going to eat anyways, we might as well group up and eat ones who deserve it instead of random passerbys.
Wait, you're not seriously saying we go after Sekamon or Anubismon, are you?
No, God no. But this
But
place,
also, yes.
not yet. Heavens no, or hell no in this case. However, as we have already seen from our past lives, this hellhole has no real shortage of other assholes to it. Why don't we go after those? They are also going to give us a hell of a lot more data than the chibis over here.
You know what? I think you make a good point. Yo, Demi Maramon! You're like, not Demi Maramon, Demi Devimon,
Devimon.
sorry. Get your butt over here! He like, flies over with Euromon still in his claws, and he's like, what do you want, you incessant babbling fool? I'm hungry, let's eat! I've caught one already. It looks like you've caught one too, Psychmon. Good job, he says as he looks down at the Zuramon in your shoulder pad thing.
The working anxiety attack.
Yeah, Zuramon's like hyperventilating and making a big bubble on its back.
Oh no.
Look, I know you worked hard to catch that Digimon and all, but I think if we want to get along with these guys, we're gonna have to go for more deserving targets. You understand? Like, come on, these guys are just kids. We don't need to hurt them. We can go after some real dicks in this place, he says. Now let the Euromon go. Let it grow up and digivolve however it wants to do. Maybe one day we'll be strong enough that it'll follow us and remember the favor. You know, spread some good in this hellhole. Isn't that right, Sightmon?
Yes. Right?
Fine, but if we do go after these dicks, as you put it, we're going to take them for everything they're worth, too. We need a place to live, a roof over our heads, a sustainable source of income and power. Do you think we can achieve that?
Sounds like a plan. We're a team. Hey, look at us.
Maybe we get like a little montage of you guys putting your hands together in the middle and going, yeah!
Murder!
Petit Mammon, like, he's like hesitating to put his hand in the middle, but then eventually decides to put his hand in. We'll find my sister though, right? She kind of gone far, and I'm sure she'll come around to the idea eventually.
Surely on this says how much stronger we've gotten with our way.
I hope so.
I would like now to point out that half of what Sykemon's saying is bullshit.
Obviously.
He himself has become jaded. That's why he wants Pilomon to actually lead, because he doesn't have that shit in him anymore.
I see.
He needs someone who does.
Okay, so I think we'll cut to a little bit later in your lifespans. You guys are going to grow up a little bit. We get a montage of you guys hunting down some like douchebag Gazimon and some like Black Agumon that are like mistreating some poor Digimon and extorting them for everything they have and whatnot. And we see you like taking them on and fighting them, and like we get a montage of Pillamon putting them to sleep and stuff. And so they make like easy pickings, and you start absorbing a lot of data and growing stronger as rookie Digimon, and getting better as working and fighting together as a team. Until one day, we come upon you guys. You sort of get ambushed. You're looking through a scrap heap, trying to find, some kind of shelter that you can make up just for the night. And as you're like rummaging through the trash pile that's built up here, you hear like a clanging on the metal above you, and you hear above you. Pillamon, you feel something drip on your head. It dribbles down the side of your face, and it's sticky and clear like drool. Because it is drool. And as you look up, you see the horrifying face of a Devi Dramon looking down at you, looking very hungry. It looks up into the air and sends out a howl, and then you hear more gnashing teeth and growls coming from behind you as its friends show up, coordinating a ambush on all of you.
See, strength in numbers.
They
These
know
guys
what's
got
up.
it.
Yeah, they know what's up. They're probably going to get out of here in no time.
Haven't evolved yet then, right?
No, you're still rookies at this point. You're just on the stronger end of rookies because of the data you've absorbed.
Hello. May we help you in something? We were just moving along. You guys want to be friends, perhaps?
I think they growl at you. It sort of... Its friends creep slowly, like judging you, weighing you up, trying to figure out, the best way to pounce on you without getting themselves hurt. They sort of look experienced at this sort of thing. They don't seem to understand your words. They seem rabid, hungry, without thoughts, like a wild animal almost.
Oh, I see. You're one of those that do not talk. Uh-oh.
She is looking frantically everywhere to see if there's any possible exit plan.
We get a shot of
Reach
like Pillamon looking around like and then like she just gets grabbed by a big red claw and brought up towards a snarling Devidramon's face.
She blows bubbles out of reflex.
Like they pop in its eyes and it's like and it like throws Pillamon to the ground. And I think that's like taken as a signal by its friends and they all pounce in. We see one of them like grab onto Kamemon, who like is shrunk into its shell, and he's like throwing it around trying to get Kamemon out of its shell. Psychmon, one of the Devidramon has pinned you and Petit Mammon to the ground in either of its arms. It's gnashing at you, but Petit Mammon has managed to grab a sheet of metal and sort of put it into the Devidramon's neck, and it's like gnashing and it can't get quite close enough to both of you. And meanwhile, the other Devidramon, he snarls at Pillamon after rubbing the bubbles out of its eyes, jumps down from the trash pile, and menacingly and slowly walks towards her.
Oh,
And
that's
then we
bad.
see 3 darts just shoot into the back of that Devidramon, and it roars in pain. Looks like I got back in the nick of time, Devidramon says as he's flying from a different trash pile over to you guys. He sort of fires a few more darts out at that Devidramon. Then that's not going to hold them for long. These things are pretty strong. Quickly, run, Pillamon, run! What does Pillamon do in this situation?
Yeah, well, she is going to run, or rather float along, just...
Uh-oh. That's pretty bad. Thank you. What to do?
As you're running, you notice that, Psychmon and Petit Mammon are pinned down. You see
Oh, wait,
Kamemon
yeah,
being
that's
thrown around. You see Meikumon hiding inside the trash, trying not to be seen. Like, she's just, like, not even trying to help at this point. She's like...
There goes our best combatant. Yay.
Oh, no, wait. We can't leave them there, can we? No.
It's survival
we
of
have
the
to...
fittest, Pillamon. You're the person that Psychmon seems to think can lead us, so you're the most important here. Saving you is worth more than them. I'm sure they'll understand.
Still... No, I can't let them be eaten like this.
She's going to rush, maybe not in the center, just up in the sky above everyone.
Everyone, Um, I am what you're looking for. I don't know if you know that Pillarman meat is quite juicy. So, just look at over here.
Yeah, try at the attention of people and maybe rain down some bubbles to just make a show of it. Hopefully, some of them eat the target, but I don't assume they will do much damage. But at least look impressive might not be the right word, but eye-grabbing enough that they are just letting their guard down and possibly getting giving the others the opportunity to escape. Yes.
Cool. Please roll to provoke and do so this time with +1.
+1. Wow. Generous of you. Hopefully that's good. 8. Oh, it was. Ah.
Yeah, they overreact
was-
like crazy. They see you blowing bubbles down and trying to make a spectacle and getting in the way of them gnashing at the others. So much that they just get completely ticked off. And they leap into the air, unfurling their wings, which they flap a couple of times to take flight. And they fly up towards Pillarmon, all three of them. As you grab their attention, one of them gets close enough that it's about to grab you in its mouth, and you feel a sharp shove to your right, and you get pushed out of the way, and you hear a big chomping sound as the teeth bite into something. Ha ha! You hear. As you look over who pushed you out of the way, you see one of Devimon's wings has been bitten.
What?
You fool!
Was-
Run! And just at that moment, Devimon begins to glow purple. The light from him beams and bursts through Devidramon's mouth, releasing its grip. He grows and grows, longer and thinner and taller, until his wings unfurl much larger than before, and Devimon stands before him. Devimon grabs Devidramon's throat and slams him into the ground. Just in the nick of time, huh? I quite like this form. A lot of reach, he says as he, extends and detracts his arms. Now, you were hurting my friends, he says. He kicks the Devidramon off of Psychmon, and grabs Kamimon after it gets thrown by the other Devidramon. Now listen here, fools, he says as he looks down at Devidramon. I'm going to give you a choice, because this one here, and he points at Pillarmon, seems to think that giving people second chances is the right thing to do. I'm inclined to believe her, conditionally. So you have two choices. I either kill you here and eat you, and your cycle begins anew, or you join us and serve us. Yes, even them. One of the Devidramon, the one that was at the top and drooled all over you, Pillarmon, he glares at Devimon, jumps up at him as if he wants to tear his arms off. Devimon grabs him by the chest. Touch of evil. And you see a big flash of purple, and the Devidramon just drops to the ground dead.
Ooh.
Starts disintegrating.
Doesn't mess around. Wow.
Anyone else? There's always option B of joining us. The other Devidramon look absolutely terrified and give in to Devimon. think Petit Mammon sees Devimon, crawls towards him, and is like, "Whoa, you look so cool, you're huge! I've never seen a Digimon like this before. Why do you have wings like that? That's so cool! And your claws, you look just like that Devidramon, but like a man," he says. I like to think I'm a bit more refined than these rabid beasts. But we can tame them. He smiles. This is what you wanted, right, Pillowmon? We don't kill them if they can be of use to us.
I think so. Maybe. Yeah. That way we're all a big team. Yeah, I think that's about right. Wow, you're so big now. How did you do it?
Well, I don't know. I've not been killing Digimon like I used to. I certainly haven't absorbed any data from a Devidramon. Perhaps it was him biting me that was the catalyst. Perhaps it was the strong emotions I felt when I pushed you out of the way. Either way, I think this proves Psychmon's hypothesis correct. Don't you think, Psychmon?
Yes, though it took you a bit.
So I guess this means we need to put you guys in a very stressful situation and see if you evolve too.
Not quite, but okay.
What would you have us do, Psychmon? You seem to be the oldest of us, as far as I can tell.
It was less so the do or die situation and more so the emotions it evoked.
I see.
We don't really need to almost die.
An interesting hypothesis. So how do we evoke a strong emotion from you, and Pillowmon, and that cowardly cat in the dumpster over there? And we see like Mikumon like hide back in the trash, like the coward she was. I just didn't want to die is all, okay? It's nothing personal, it's just, you know, I was scared. Rightfully so. You guys were almost dog meat.
You got me there. I haven't really felt alive in a few lives. Honestly, I'm not even sure if your method would work in my case. All I know is that we need someone with a good heart, and that Philemon is that someone. So I would follow you, sis, to the ends of the earth. What's an earth?
What's the end? The ends of the digital world. Cool. So I think we have a new time skip then. In this situation, you use the Devidramon at your disposal to, take out threats and set up a perimeter where you can actually set up a base. You build your first home together. What does the home look like?
That's a very good question.
What would their home look like? I would assume actually that Pilomon might try to make it as close as she remembers from a time before the dark area, and so probably paint some dirt or walls green, and so some things to resemble a blue sky. but obviously pretty ragged with the materials that are at their disposal. Maybe a few basic huts or some kind, something that tries to look like a village, but yeah, kind of done pretty poorly, I would imagine.
Surprisingly, it turns out quite well. It looks like a hut at first, but then Devimon keeps bringing materials, and you don't know where from, but they're high quality. He brings like bricks and literal sheets of glass. He brings tiling and cement. You don't know where he's getting all of this from. You're just grateful that he can provide it. And the hut eventually ends up looking a lot more like a small, not a house, but like a tiny one-roomed house in a way. Devimon, when he first saw the hut that you guys put together, was like, "I'm not living in that," and that's why he went and grabbed all these materials. He sits you all down, tells you the story of his previous life. In my previous life, I was a Captain Hookmon.
Oh.
I rode the dirt of the Dark Zone, searching for treasures and plunders. Do you know what I found out? There's this strange other world that's attached to our own. For some reason, items from that world seep through the cracks and end up here. Or everywhere else in the digital world for that matter. Some of it working, some of it broken. But I found a place, well, several places in fact, where specific items gather and fall through the cracks. Like there's just a wormhole designed to produce perfect quality items of that particular need. In this case, building supplies. I just used my past lives' memories to remember where it was. It was all still there, untouched, some of it broken, but usable. I hope this knowledge may be useful to our endeavours in the future, he says, putting a hand into the table. We see Kamimon sat opposite him at the table. Kamimon's actually evolved at this point. Potentially there was another like life-threatening event. He's now Guapamon. He's like, "Why didn't you tell us about this earlier, man?" He says. He like flops back in his chair. Like, we had a right to know about that. We were a team, remember? Survival of the fittest ain't a thing here. We work together. Why'd you keep this to yourself, Devimon? Well, it was a precaution. I didn't believe in you guys at first, so I kept my cards to my chest, but now that I've seen it not once but twice, I have to believe in Psychomon's hypothesis that strong emotion is what causes evolution. Me when I tried to save Pillamon, and Guapamon here when everyone was praising him for one of his epic pranks.
My god, really?
I'm sure everyone remembers when, you know, Pillamon fell into that bucket of glue and got covered in feathers.
Oh yes, an entire kilogram of feather.
It was a good prank.
Classic.
Took a while to clean up, though.
Perhaps,
Yeah.
perhaps it's time to share some information about your past lives. I'm sure you all have your secrets too.
Psychmon sweats.
What the fuck would he have? Like, in my mind, most of his previous lives were pathetic, and he just perished. I haven't really thought of anything grand. What would you put on the table? I don't know, honestly. Like, the reasons he's so into this plan is because when he tried to do things himself, it always went horrible.
But surely he found something useful when he was on his journeys. It doesn't have to be something physical. Potentially, it's a piece of knowledge that he can share. Maybe a way to get Digimon to follow you, or a way to, I don't know. Maybe it's like a piece of knowledge that he got from the human world that's fell into the dark area, or something like that. Or maybe maybe he's the one that finds the way out of the dark area. Like, you know, if
Yeah, actually, that's what I thought. Maybe he once saw someone. He actually witnessed the weakest part of the dome. Yeah, that. Well, in my case, all of my lives have been short and pathetic. However, in one of them, I did see something interesting. Over at these coordinates, the dome seems to be slightly weaker. Probably used on some sort of entrance, and due to it getting used again and again, it's grown thinner there.
Interesting. So you're saying we have an escape route?
If need there be, yes.
I'm sure if we used it now, we'd be met with a ton of resistance from the outside. Legend has it this barrier was put up by the Vortex Warriors, a group of mega-level Digimon, hell-bent on keeping us here.
Wouldn't want to mess with these guys. Ugh.
Definitely not that Valkyrimon guy, that. I'd wait for him to grow old.
You know what, I hear one of them has a PhD. I don't want to mess with that.
Yes.
The superior
Oh my
Enjoy
god,
the
yeah,
fact that-
doctors!
Enjoy the fact that Taisto is not here.
It's when he's watching the stream and he's like talking in the stream chat going, oh my god, what did I...
And you just see in all caps, medieval!
We need to grow stronger if we are to use that exit. If it was up to me, I'd like to give those Vortex Warriors and those Ponzi angels sitting atop their thrones a piece of my mind. Devimon reaches towards the center of the table and grabs a hunk of meat that's been left there and just bites into it. I got thrown here for absolutely no reason. Sickening, he says. I did nothing wrong. All I did was plunder for some treasure. I showed it to my friend, Cherrymon. The next thing I know, I'm being hauled away by a group of Magna Angemon, and tossed into this wretched place, living the same life over and over and over and over. I want to give them a piece of my mind.
I don't even remember why I'm here. It's been too long. You think that kind of defeats the point of the exercise, yes? What do I have to regret if I don't remember why I'm here in the first place?
I sure that anywhere is better than here.
Oh, I can agree to that.
Yeah, if things are like I see in my dreams sometimes, the sky and the fields and the air feel different. I'm not sure why that is, but it was really calming. You didn't have to worry about food and getting attacked every 5 seconds. There were people around you. Laughter. Yeah. But sometimes I'm not even sure if that's a real place or if I'm just inventing it in my dreams. You know. We've been through this so many times by now that starting to feel like that's all there is to the world, and I'm scared sometimes.
I
At
think
the
it's,
very least, yeah.
I was gonna say, I think it's at this exact moment when Pillamon's remembering the world outside the barrier, fondly seeing those grassy meadows and their air blowing through her wool, that she starts to evolve too.
Hmm.
Who does she become in this life? Would it be Clockmon or would it be someone else?
Clockmon. Clockmon?
Sorry, Sleepmon. Sorry.
Clockmon would be a fucking wild pick. I am now an old man with the powers of time and
Okay.
omni by my side.
So the thing is, I've had an evolution sequence planned, but that was way more somber than this little moment. So either she becomes something else, and then will slide evolve eventually into Sleepmon later on, because that's a little bit too nice for her to evolve into that dark. The dark
I
form.
mean, we can hold off on the evolution. I just thought it was a good moment when you were evoking some strong emotions of the past or whatever. to
Yeah,
evolve you,
it
but
makes sense. It makes sense.
If you don't want to evolve, that's totally fine. We can leave it and wait for a more solemn part.
Speaking of evolution, Psychmons probably would come the moment he can actually wholeheartedly believe that Pilomon is the right pick. When he just sees like genuine proof that like, yes, this is going to work.
Would he evolve directly to Astamon, or would he have a champion form?
That depends. If he evolves to Astamon directly, then he's going to be really fucking late.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. So, I'm assuming you want a champion then, a stepping stone.
Depends. Like, I don't mind warping immediately.
Cool.
If he's going for a champion, I was thinking either Dorulumon or Fangmon.
Ooh, those are good picks.
I think Fangmon makes more sense for the dark area, but I'll leave it to you.
That's the fun part. Fangmon is the data.
Yeah.
Is he seriously a
Yeah,
data?
yeah, he is.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
How?
no.
He's like completely evil in everything he's ever been.
Absolutely, absolutely makes no sense, but he is this.
And here's the funny part. Dorulumon is virus.
No way, he's virus.
The reference book lists him as virus.
No, no,
What?
I can't believe that.
Surely they've mixed those two up, right?
That's why they are my picks. Dorulumon's like as good as I can be while being a virus, and Fangmon is as close as I can be to virus without being virus.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that point when we get to it. Anyway,
Eventually.
He is virus. Holy
okay,
shit.
so we won't involve you right here then, Pillamon. We'll continue as Pillamon for now. You
Yeah.
remember the green and the grass and all that kind of stuff? Devimon leans in and he's like,
Pillamon, that place is not part of your imagination. I remember it clearly. Not the grass and the trees and the breezes, those were trivial. I remember my home, a large ship, the open sea, adventure, treasures that I could plunder, that I put on display proudly his accolades of everything that I've learned and everything that I've done. Oh, how I long for that treasure to return.
I'm sure you'll get there someday. You're such a nice Digimon. Of course they will allow you to go there one day.
That's the first time anybody's called me nice.
Well, that's true. And they should say it more often. You saved me so many times. You're always there and finding good ideas and plans and taking care of us. I'm glad you're my friend. Can I call you that?
You know what, Pillowmon? At this point, I think you can, he says.
Gasp.
I think like Meikumon like pipes up. She's like, it's not like I call you a friend or anything, but you know I kind of care about you and stuff. He says, and she like looks away all embarrassed. We grew up together, and we have to look out for one another.
Yeah.
Like Kazimon like punches, not Kazimon. Getting the wrong names now. Guapamon punches her in the arm, and she's like, "You big softy. Admit it, you like her. We all do. We're all good friends here now. This is where it begins. We're gonna take this place by storm and get out of here."
Mash cut to when everything goes inevitably wrong.
Yeah, how does it go wrong in Pillamon's memories? Like, what actually causes everything to go south?
Ooh, that's a good idea. Good question. But I assume that first, they would eventually try to reach the big boys in the sky, judging everyone. But first, they probably want to reunite with the other Petit Mammon. You know, the sister that left many months ago now. Who knows how long it's actually been? You know, to show them how they've been doing, and that hey, you know, life is not so bad actually. But I assume that they would be met with some unexpected sights. That, well, could go either way. You know, she could just be full on evolved and quite bitter with her way of life, or maybe we struggle to find her in the first place because, well, we cannot find her. You know,
No,
for reasons.
I think for story purposes, you eventually do happen upon her.
Yeah.
At this point, I think Meikumon's probably evolved into the champion version of Meikumon.
So Meikumon.
What's it called? Sorry.
So
Meiku-
Meikumon.
Meikumon is the champion, so
Oh,
it's like
Meikumon is the
Tailmon.
champion. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a Tailmon case.
Sorry, I thought
Yeah.
I thought she was the rookie. My bad. Okay, she's still Meikumon.
She doesn't have one.
She's still Meikumon then. She was the strongest out of all of you. Jesus Christ, I didn't even realize.
Yep. Yep.
Otherwise it was funny.
I completely forgot that she was a champion. Never mind. She was already a champion. Everyone's a champion except for Cyclone and Pillowmon at this point, I think.
And Pillowmon, yep.
I think even Petit Mammon had a moment where he sort of braved up a bit and became Boogieymon.
Ooh.
And eventually you set out to find his sister as friends. You know, you want to support him, make sure that he's stable and happy so that he doesn't, you know, go off the rails or anything like that.
That will never happen.
And eventually we find out where his sister is. You come upon a large castle. It's got a big moat around the outside of it with a drawbridge. Big stone walls. It's got some Digimon standing atop of it, keeping guards. You probably can't make them out to like silhouettes. They're not important at this point, so if they become important, I'll tell you what they are. We see you guys sort of entering the castle, being welcomed in at first. You get taken to the audience chamber. You came here just to ask for information more than anything, but you're put face to face with an overwhelmingly powerful Digimon. You step through the door, and it hits you how powerful this Digimon's aura is. It almost makes you fall to your knees. It's that strong. There's a Digimon sat on its throne. He's cloaked at the moment. Behind him stands a Lady Devimon. She speaks for him at first. You do well to kneel before the master, she says. She looks down at all of you. You lasted longer than I expected, she said.
So we do recognize her, even though she evolved. Thanks to our Digimon senses.
Yeah, did your Digimon senses, you recognize her as PbtA Mamon female.
Of course, we'll kneel, no problem. Well, Pilomon is going to try to kneel, but she doesn't have knees per se, but she is going on the floor. It's been so long. We've missed you.
Quite the contrary, I haven't missed you at all, she says. Sis, what's the matter? You don't sound like yourself, says Pokemon. The master tells me that I must hold myself in high regard, speak properly around him. It's but a small price to be in the presence of his power, she says. Devimon smirks. I tried to get you to speak properly for years. To think that you'd only listen to someone with more power than you. So how's his serving, Demon Lord? He says. Daemon.
Ooh. Okay. We must not fuck this one up.
Daemon stands from his throne. Why have I been brought into the presence of such puny, pathetic Digimon, Lady Devimon? I was promised an audience with something worth my time.
Well, sorry to impose on you. We didn't actually wanted to bother you or anything. We mostly wanted to catch up with an old friend of ours. Sorry. Could we
Call
speak
these
to
your
her?
friends, Lady Devimon? I wouldn't call these my friends at all. They're weak, pathetic Digimon. Obviously sought an audience with you searching for some silly quest of theirs. No doubt. This one here can't even
tie his own shoelaces, let alone help anyone but himself, she says as she, like, reaches a hand out and points towards Boogeyman. He's always been weak and pathetic. Surprised he even managed to survive past the day that I left. Thank you, she says. All of you for taking such good care of him. I'm sure he'll learn his
like
lesson.
that tone.
I'm sure he'll learn his lesson when he falls from grace. So you've come here to preach about friendship, have you? Look at how strong I've become compared to you. Look whose method's correct. You're all pathetic, she says. Boogeyman starts to cry. Like full
I
on,
imagine so.
full on blubbery tears, like the softy he is.
Don't say that. He's your family. That's not very nice. Surely you don't mean what you said. I mean, the part about your part being more right than ours is one thing, but you don't need to hurt your brother in the process, right?
He's not my brother anymore. She like spits on the floor.
Okay.
She leans forward and says, "He didn't heed my advice. Only the strong survive in this world. Gavurumon said it before he abandoned us too. Take what you can, keep hold of it. I've done that, and then some. But him, he fell prey to your pathetic friendship antics. No, no, no. Friendship gets you nowhere but stabbed in the back. Power, strength. That is what you should sought after. The truly strong have those beneath them flock to their aid. You have nothing. Now leave before you make me even sicker than I already feel."
Well, on that, they're going to start to leave slowly, but Pilomon is going to eventually turn.
Oh, right. Mr. Damon, sorry to have bothered you. We also wanted to inform you that we were going to maybe take counsel with the big Digimon in the sky that keep us here. That dog-like Digimon and that other one. If you wanted to join us to, ask them for a better life, you're welcome to.
You really think that they would give you the time of day? You're more deluded than Lady Devimon mentioned. I wish you luck on your endeavours, young one. And I hope when you visit your next life that you'll learn from the mistakes of this one.
I'll keep that in mind, sir.
And with that, she will leave. Probably trying to comfort Boogeyman now.
I think
It's okay.
I think Boogeyman stays kneeling as you guys start to leave. He just stays put. She's right,
He's crying like blubbery tears. Look at how strong she got. Just following the strong. Look at how she survived and thrived. And then look at us. We live in a hut, barely living day to day. Don't you want a better life? We should follow in her footsteps. Right? She's strong. I don't want to lose my sister again.
Hey. Look, I'm still small and I've been there all my life, so I don't know what path is right. I think there might be a chance in keeping on going the way we have, but if you truly believe that being with your sister is the way to go, then I will not stop you. Family is important after all. But do know that we care about you, you know? We said we're friends, but maybe we were closer to a family as well. We might not be linked by a digital data, by data or something like the way you and Lady Digimon are, but we've been through so much, and I think that's worth something, at least. But you have the right to decide what is going to be your path in life, I guess. So I'll leave you alone to make your decision if that's what you wish. I'm sorry if that we couldn't be any more helpful to you. But if you want to come back, we'll always have our arms open. That goes for you, miss. You know, always welcome. Goodbye. I'm sorry.
As you all leave the castle, Boogeyman stays behind. You exit through the gates, walk along the drawbridge, which starts to slowly lever up. You hear arguments from the inside of the castle walls, loud, like muffled screams of parents in the next room from their kids. You hear smashing, and then you see Lady Digimon march out onto the balcony. She's got Boogeyman by the throat. I don't need you anymore, you snivelling, pathetic fool! She holds him out over the balcony.
Whoa.
All you do is hold me back everywhere you go. Make a fool of me. In our last lives, we died because of you, she said.
Yeah.
I am not letting you hold me back anymore. You are dead to me, you understand? So don't try and ride on my coattails. You don't deserve my powers. You're weak and pathetic and sentimental. Go cry to your pathetic sheep friend, she says. She squeezes his throat harder, and he's like, Sith, please, I don't want to lose you. Tears are streaming down his face. What do you guys do?
We let him die and create a time paradox.
Kofu, Kofu. Let him go.
That is quite enough indeed.
So I,
This isn't a mistake. It can't be a mistake. Time and time again, we've tried so many times. It never works. This is my best damn life yet. I refuse to believe this life is a mistake. So if you want to keep that useless struggle going, if you want to live this one life and then just go back, then so be it. But at least give him back.
She like looks down from the balcony and sees Psychmon just yelling up at her all these like sentimental things, and she's like, "Look at that, Boogeyman. Your pets are here to watch you fall. Tell me, puppy, if this is the best life you've lived yet, why do you even want to leave the dark area? The real world, it's even worse than in here. We're beaten, looked down upon, segregated, simply because of our nature. As a virus Digimon, we do not belong in that world. But here we can thrive. Here we can attain power. Here we can flex our wings and fly where they won't let us. Why would you want to return to a world that kicks you and beats you and throws you in a prison just for existing? Don't tell me you want to be governed by those ridiculous-looking angels in the sky.
I want to see it. I want to burn it into my memory. Don't even remember what the outside world looks like. But from Pilomon's words, it sounds beautiful. It sounds like them paradise compared to this shithole. I may not have the heart. I may not have the memories. But I still choose to believe them. This life is life or die for me, and that won't change, no matter what you say. Right?
Right. 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 I know that we're not powerful, but our connections certainly are. We started off as nothing more than strangers, but we really grew to love one another, you know? That's real. We live in a world, I don't know how we are treated in this outside world, but I want to believe that connections like that are regarded as something of value. And please don't do anything you'll regret, because I'm sure you, deep down, you still care about your brother, even if you don't want to admit it.
Then let me give you a reality check, she says. She reaches out with her other arm, tears off Boogeymon's tiny wings. He screams in agony as data spews out of his back. And then she drops him from the top of the castle. And he falls. Pillarmon, how do you feel seeing that happen to one of your closest friends?
Shock. She'll scream.
Please, catch him! Oh no!
Just try and support Boogeymon's weight, even though he's clearly twice the size, twice her size, and is in turn falling down with him.
Don't worry, we can fix this. Oh, guys, A little help.
Devimon flies towards you to try and help, and immediately gets shot down by Lady Devimon's bats that she releases. He plummets to the ground too. And Guapamon can't get to you because he can't fly. But he's like below you, trying to like reach out to catch you, but like he's obviously gonna get crushed by you too if he does catch you.
Please, I beg of you, let us go. We'll not bother you, I promise. But we just wanted to say hi.
Is this the moment that Pillarmon will digivolve or not?
Well, it depends on what time we have left, but okay,
We have, like,
admittedly,
half an hour.
I admit it.
We have about half an hour, unless we want to extend it because we started a bit later.
The scene I had in mind was a bit more specific and involved someone dying. So obviously we can't really do that with.
I mean, we could do it with Boogeyman and have him die, and then we can revive him.
Yeah, no. See, that's the problem. Because well, okay. That was when I was still planning on making it a little extra thing. Back when I wasn't even sure that was going to be an actual scene in the campaign. So I guess we can change this. But the way I envisioned it was she will eventually absorb the data of someone that's dear to her, causing her to evolve, and getting a more twisted view on what bonds are, because she will not be she'll not have someone else's strength within her. You see, so we cannot really. So it wouldn't be revived if that happened, because you would be completely absorbed.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah.
What if, since the idea of me warping was brought up, what if we have Psychmon give you like half his energy and you evolve that way? And that is why he is delayed so much in evolving compared to the rest.
Maybe that could work, but then it would have to be an important part of yourself, some big memories that you'd had, that you can no longer have, whether it's for the present or one of your past lives, so something that's meaningful for the evolution to make sense in the context I had in mind, I guess.
Or we could have Meikumon sacrifice herself.
Oh, we could have Mikumon, the poor girl. Oh.
She seems to be the most expendable on the list, given. Well,
That's one way to put it.
her and Kamemon, so Guapmon, seem to be the most expendable because they've not appeared later in the campaign yet. So one of them could have died before they could become your general.
I'd say Meikumon makes the most sense out of the two, since she's the one that had a close bond with Pillarmon.
Yeah,
so-
Megumon is also the most awkward to using her proper forms, so that helps us.
So maybe Meikumon sees this, what's happening. She like shrieks when she sees her friend's wings being ripped off. She sees the pain that Pillarmon's in, trying to hold him up as he falls to his death. She sees Devimon pinned down in the ground. She sees Psychmon looking on helplessly, unable to do anything because it's a rookie Digimon that can't fly. And suddenly she just loses it. Her eyes glow red. Her body elongates and warps, and she leaps forward with as much might as she can, shooting up towards Lady Devimon. And she stabs Lady Devimon in the shoulder with her claws. She yelps in surprise and agony as that happens, But Lady Devimon is no pushover. She has had her share of hardships too. She claps back at her. It's like a full-on brawl up in the tower while you guys try to hold up Boogimon. I think because she's distracted by Mekumon, it gives Devimon the chance to fly up and support Boogimon and bring him to the ground. But while that's happening, all you hear is Darkness Spear, and we see a spear jut out from the balcony, and Mekumon's on the other end of the spear, pierced through the chest. Her eyes close, the spear detracts, and she falls from the castle. Before you can even go up and try to grab her, her data just disintegrates.
Man. Looking forward to I would say before data disintegrates completely.
Yeah.
Let me find the thing. No. Play. Yes. Play. Right, it's the other one. Still not used to this new thing. Okay. There we go. Before she completely disintegrates, she would probably stay somewhat stable isn't the right word, but have enough energy to just cling on to Pillarmon as she falls down.
Wait, no, we can fix this, I'm sure. Sir, don't worry. We'll find a way. Stay strong.
And Mekuman, somebody sensing that the end is drawing near to her.
No, you shouldn't worry about me, idiot. But I might end, but I have one more thing I need to ask of you. See, I don't want to go through all of this again. I'm sure I'll never get a chance this golden family has dedicated as you and the others, and I don't want to be judged for what I may or may not have done by gods who don't know anything about myself. I don't want to go through all of that again and again and again. Please, I want to be with you. I want to be useful for once. I've never really been the biggest fighter, but I want to offer you a gift. Take my data and live. I'd rather be with you than all alone in an egg abandoned somewhere, barely even remembering what I did. Yes, but we can do something about this.
And it's becoming clear that she is about to die, and before doing so, she is resigning herself and absorbing all of her data.
Okay, you'll always be with me. I'll bring you back, maybe. Oh, you were not useless. You were my best friend.
Well, one of them. Well,
She reaches up and caresses Pillamon's face. Carry out our dream, okay? Save these idiots. Only you can do it. Psychmon's right.
Do it for me. And
Yes.
then she closes her eyes, and the rest of her data is absorbed inside Pillowmon.
And as that happens, the light glows within her, and memories flow, and emotions stir inside of her, and she evolves gracefully into Sleepmon. And at first, she is just busy crying over what just happened. And then, little by little, she starts regaining her composure, and a smile forms across her cheeks.
Yes. I feel you now. I feel all your emotions, your memories. You truly, you truly did love me. I understand now. This is what real connections were all about. This joy you're feeling inside of me. You're not even sad to be gone. You really are better that way. I see. I must share this feeling with others. This bliss, this happiness, this is what that means. Together we stand strong. I understand now. It wasn't about eat or be eaten. It was about these connections being made and we abandoning yourself together. Make one. Oh, make one. Yes. I will carry on that dream for you. I swear. We will get that blue sky. We will get that blue sky. And no one will have the right to take that away from us. To take our family from us. Right? Right, guys? Are you with me?
Boogieymon looks up at you from Devimon's arms. And then he looks up towards like Devimon in the tower. Hatred fills his eyes. And then he looks back at you. I'm with you, he says. I'm going to make you the strongest Digimon in this place, so this never happens again. This is all my fault, and I will make amends for it, I promise. I will make sure that everyone sees that blue sky. Don't you worry, Sleepmon. Don't you worry. And Devimon looks up at you with the same resolve and nods. Guapamon, again, all of the jokiness has been drained from him at his friend's death. Let's take this place by storm. Psychmon, you've just seen this play out and Pillowmon evolve. What's his take on it?
At this point, the ship fucking sailed. So he just keeps repeating, "This isn't a mistake. This can't be a mistake.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
isn't a mistake. This can't be a mistake."
Okay, I'm sure everything will be fine. Oh.
Yeah, they're all fucked at this point.
Okay, I want to flash forward slightly then to the moment in the future, because we're getting towards the end of the session, to the moment in the future where Psychmon eventually does evolve. And you said that he would evolve at the moment that he knew that he'd made the right choice in picking Pillowmon. Kageaki,
Yes?
Eleno, at that point, what point would that be? Like, if we could come up with a situation in the future where potentially you've evolved a bit, everyone else has evolved a bit more, even like to their ultimate forms potentially, what would cause Psychomon to see Sleepmon or whatever ultimate form they are then and go, yes, I've made the right choice and evolve into Astamon?
Guy, it's a lot rougher now that we've gone off the deep end.
Well, yeah, but that's the way that makes sense, considering what they become.
Oh, when would it be? Like he'd have to see like the good part of whatever Pilomon was at that point come out again, even after all the pain and suffering. He'd need to see another tiny ass ray of light to truly believe it, because otherwise he'd just keep lying to himself that this isn't a mistake.
Well, I will say that she is treating companions way more warmly than anyone else. She is taking in all comers and all the babies that were around and giving them food when they need be, even sharing her own meals even when they don't have enough, because they believe she truly believes that the group is more important compared to Lady Devimon, who doesn't care about anything other than strength, and probably other virus types which only care about surviving in this harsh world and only cooperate when it suits them.
I just thought of
So
a,
even
I just thought of a moment where it could happen. So you're treating everyone super kindly, right? You're helping them when they're full. You're trying to make allies and friends and whatnot. And Psychomon's still in this whole thing of, I haven't made a mistake, I haven't made a mistake. But at some point, you guys wanted to confront Anubismon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps it's at that moment that Psychomon realizes he hasn't made a mistake. Perhaps at that moment they weigh up the soul of Pillarmon and realize it's not evil anymore.
Ooh.
Or at least not all evil. Maybe there's some hope for this one. And maybe that's what clicks Psychomon into thinking, yeah, this is the person I should be following. Does that make sense? If we do
I
that scene?
guess. Like, even if that biased us system, after all we've been through.
He doesn't know it's biased, right? I mean, actually, technically, Sekamon's system isn't biased. Sekamon is accurate, except for when it gets interfered with by, like, Zachary's Digivice.
Like, it's hard not to find the system biased considering how few people actually get out of this. If it's not the system itself, then it's the environment. So, if after everything it can still find someone good, and it's the one he picked to lead, then I guess, yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's set this up then. You guys, after, I want to say, a few decades now of being together and working together and taking the digital world by storm, you've raised a following beneath you of various Digimon who want to follow in the footsteps of Pillarmon, who's now become, the de facto leader,
Right.
solely driven by her desire to see that blue sky and share it with everyone else, share that happiness that Meikumon felt when she didn't have to relive this tortured hell anymore. And you march upon the giant pyramid in the center of the Dark Zone. And who should fly out to defend it but Sekamon? He lands before you, holding his Ankh staff in his arm. He holds out a palm. I'd leave right now
if you do not wish to face Anubismon's wrath.
We do not wish to anger anyone. We just want to speak.
You wish to speak, and yet you bring an army.
This is not an army. This is my family. People that have been hurt and others cared for their lives. Innocent people, I can assure you.
Yes.
We're simply here to request some things. We do not wish you any harm.
You say they're innocent, however, Anubismon's scales have judged them evil. Tell me, why do you believe your family to be good? What makes you take their side in all of this?
Well, I believe this place is making people a little bit too crazy. Sometimes I know we get a bit violent because there's not really that much food, and we really have to fend to survive and even eat each other in order to see the day. But as you can see, these Digimon have chosen to stick by me, not because of some grand elaborate plan to gain a lot of influence or a lot of power through this, but simply because they believe that company is more valuable than being alone, and that have friends and family and bonds is something to be admired and not reproached.
Second smiles when you say that, by the way. Like, you visibly see his face smile.
See, there must be a mistake, since a lot of these people are just children, babies. I do not know why the scales have decided to brand them evil, but surely it must have been a mistake, or maybe it's a bit too soon to judge them fully. Maybe they can see the way if we stick together, but that cannot work if we keep on living such desolate lives. You understand? They want blue skies. They want the grassy fields and hearty meals and laughter and warm breeze as everyone else is having. Can't we please have that?
Believe me. I'm imagining your ultimate form at this point. What would the ultimate form of Sleepmon be?
Level 5. Well, okay. So originally it was going to be Mephismon, but that ship has already sailed as well.
It could still be Mephismon, just a different Mephismon.
It could be, but also since then I have thought about what I do for a dark line, and I imagined it would be somewhat. It would probably be an original Digimon instead, since there's no perfect, perfect, perfect level 5s that fit that cheap mold. Well, there's Pajramon, but that's Pajramon, was it?
That's Yoramon.
Yeah, but
One of
that's
the
not.
There was the ship, yeah.
Yeah, but that's not exactly what I had in mind, since that's a sheep, but that's not a sleep sheep. And since original Digimon were being introduced, I imagine there was some Digimon that was a sheep leg that was stuck to a bed instead. Sleepmon grew a pillow out of its body instead of being the pillow, and now she has a complete bed, but she is being chained up to this bed. The way I see it, it's the digital world reacting to the path that she's going towards, and preventing her from reaching greater heights. So she's being chained to a bed and floating in midair, because she always could float. Yeah, and I call this form Bedmon because I'm not very creative, let's say. But yeah. So either that, or if you do not want any original Digimon on that, it could be Bajramon. Yes.
I mean, I'm happy for it to be Bedmon, but I'd rather it be named something a bit more creative than Bedmon.
Yeah.
Krevatimon, the Greek word for bed.
Is there a word for like eternal sleep that we could use?
Eternal sleep. We could go for. Do we have a Morpheusmon?
I do not think we do. No. We do not have a Morpheusmon.
Could be Morpheusmon then.
We have Morphomon, the butterfly, but that's about it.
Not
Yeah,
quite.
Yeah, well, Morpheusmon is pretty cool.
Yeah, like Morpheomon or something we could have. Cool.
Morpheimon, Morpheimon, because the O is a bit too similar to the butterfly, but yeah, Morphei.
Or Morphemon or
Something.
something maybe.
Morphemon, yeah, Morphemon.
That sounds very sheepy.
Yeah.
Cool. So we have Morphemon. So it's like, believe me, Morphemon, I would want nothing more than to see you rehabilitated and leaving this place for good. I don't want to keep you here. But the scales from Seraphimon do not lie. It has been the sole thing that has judged every Digimon that has come to this area. I see goodness in a lot of Digimon here, through the eye of my Ankh. But Seraphimon's scales see all. Even if I see that light, Seraphimon's scales know that it's insignificant.
Well, then maybe, surely we could talk to Seraphimon then. I'm sure.
Seraphimon would never set foot in a place like this. That's why he sends us, his messengers, his judges, his keepers.
Well
Tell
then,
me, Morphemon, will you have your soul judged one more time?
of course, anything it takes for my family.
He places his Ankh staff down. The two ribbons either side, their pink sabers stab into the ground, and the Ankh glows a bright gold colour. Take hold of the staff.
She does not have big hands in that form, but she would use the chains to kind of hold it. You know, she kind
that's
of makeshift hands.
That's fine.
Mhm.
Maybe it's like the ends of like some shackles or something, like in your
Yeah.
hands. And you shackle the staff.
Yeah, that's fun.
It glows. The Sekamon's eyes glow the same colour. Yes. Yes, this is different. This is new. Anubismon would be so happy. The experiment may have been a success, he says. I see good in you. A lot of good. Some bad still, but not pure evil. How interesting, he says. I will allow you to go forth and speak to Anubismon yourself, but only you. If Anubismon agrees, I will judge these others and see if they follow the same path as you. What say you to
Thank
that,
you.
Morphemon?
Of course, I'm sure I'll see the ways, see that we really do not mean any harm. I'm sure you'll understand. I will willingly comply. Thank you for giving us a chance.
Alright, I think this is the point. Before it potentially grows sour. Due to an
Yeah.
So-
Better now than.
At this point, Saikmon just is wide-eyed. He's staring in disbelief. Sekamon actually judged Morphimon's good. Oh my god. I was right. I knew it.
Truly the face of peace.
As the light dissipates, Saikmon is now Astamon, still staring wide-eyed at Morphimon, and without skipping a bit, he immediately falls to one knee, in a knight's bow. My liege, let this be known. I shall carve into my very soul this pledge I make to you at this moment. No matter what the future holds, I will never forget this life. No matter how many times I may be reborn, I will still strive to make sure that your true wish comes true. That the people of this dark area will be free and staring upon the bright blue sky once more.
Thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for sticking by my side all this time. But you do not need to be so solemn or calling me liege. We're family, remember?
Yes. Yes, of course. Then I shall be your family forevermore, sister.
Thank you, brother.
And then
And-
they all died.
And then nothing else went wrong.
Sekamon leads you into the pyramid, Pelomon. Doors close behind you as he does so. I do warn you, Nubimon is... he's not the nicest Digimon. He's sharp and strict, and means well, but wants to get down to business more than anything. Believe me when I say he will not take kindly if the scales tell him otherwise. But from what I've seen, you have good within you. The potential to be a good, happy Digimon. I hope that Anubismon sees the same. And he leads you to the central chamber and ushers you through a door. And the door's shut behind you. Sekamon stays outside. You see a big, tall Digimon. He's in a white robe. He's got golden jewels adorning his arms. He's in golden slippers and has big gold wings on his back. He turns to you. So you're the one causing all the fuss outside.
Thank you, Anubismon, for giving us a little bit of your time.
I always have time for a soul that Sekamon deems may be salvageable. Believe it or not, you are the first he's brought to me. He smiles. It seems my experiment was a success, potentially.
Oh, Eleanor died for a moment.
Sorry for that.
Yeah, no, Eleno died. Just,
Oh, has he died?
his power went out. Power went out. He's turning back on his PC. Well, well, should be fine. But
Well, we'll continue this scene while he's gone, and he can catch up
yeah,
if he comes back in time.
Thank you. Where I'm here because I've been told that it could be judged by you and potentially the rest of my family as well. I trust that we hold some goodness in our hearts, and we truly mean to. We truly just want to see a better sky. We do not mean to cause a ruckus. We really just want better lives for ourselves.
Well, unfortunately for you, you don't deserve a better life unless Seraphimon says so. You are all placed in this dark area for a reason. And that reason is rehabilitation. Seraphimon sees evil in this world, and he wants it changed into good. Let's see if you're worthy of that goodness. He
Yes.
raises the scales. Please, place some of your essence upon this scale.
she does so. Grabs some. I don't know what her essence would look like. Part of a digicore.
Yeah, potentially, like, actually, that's probably makes way more sense. It's like, please, hand me your digicore. I promise I will be gentle.
I trust you.
You remember before when he was holding you as a digicore that he literally crushed you in his hands and it hurt?
Yeah, the
Are
memory makes it.
Are you nervous about giving him the digicore?
Yeah, the memory makes her flicker a bit, and as it wasn't really pleasant at all. But for the sake of all of her children and brothers and sisters and family, she is willing this time to confront her fears and share her own digicore with him, even if he happens to be rough. It's a sacrifice she's willing to make this time. She's still a bit apprehensive, but her determination overpowers her fears.
You pull out your digicore. It's different to what it looked like before. It's not pink anymore. I mean, it is pink, but it's also yellow. It's like the majority of it is pink, but it's enveloped by rings of gold that sort of envelop and circle it. And you know this to be Mekumon. You hand him your heart, and he puts it on his scale, places a feather on the other side. And now we'll judge if you're worthy to leave this place with your family. The scales kick and weigh and flip and turn. And then we're going to cut the scene off before we see what it says.
Oh yeah, suspense.
And the
Does
next
make
thing
sense.
we see on the screen is Gulfmon leading an entire army of Digimon towards the barrier of the dark area. And in his mind we hear him say, "I will save my family. They're coming with me." And we see the Vortex Warriors approaching on the horizon. And then the last shot that we see is the scale tipping so that the feather is heavier than your heart. You were worthy to leave, but you chose not to because no one else was.
Oh fuck.
end the session there. Unfortunately,
Whoa.
Eleanor missed the end.
I'm sure I'll come back in a few minutes, so we'll be able to tell him. But that's bad. That's a bad moment to go. Well, it's not his fault. Yeah.
I really enjoyed this session. I like delving into the backstories of all the characters in the Digimon.
Oh yeah, that was really fun. I did not think I'd be able to explore this thing that I had in mind in the campaign, but yeah, that's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, and we've also added so much lore. Like, Pillowmon isn't just Pillowmon now. She's Pillowmon plus Meikumon mixed together, basically, is her
Yeah.
core.
And potentially more.
We have, like, Sagomon, Astamon, and Vamdemon even as your old generals who will probably be remembering you. For some reason, Vamdemon hasn't really acknowledged you yet, so maybe he doesn't realize that you're the same. Or maybe he does know,
That is-
and he's sort
That
of...
is true.
Or maybe he does know and he's just sort of lost his memory somehow. I'm not sure. We have to explore that. Why Vamdemon
I mean,
doesn't remember you.
That is true. We do have some memory loss in this current life, considering what Petit Mammon and Sleepmon went through this time. So probably during their uprising in against whomever or the Vortex Warriors, they were, forbidden from getting back those memories.
Yeah,
for some
maybe
reason.
maybe they had their memories wiped because Anubismon considered it like a failed experiment and separated you
Mhm.
again.
Yeah.
But I think actually, as an after scene credit type thing, after you were all killed or destroyed or whatever in the purge, we see the souls once again being weighed up on the scales. All of your lieutenants, your generals. And we see that the scales tipped in favour of Astamon, tipped in favour of Felismon, but didn't tip in favour of Vamdemon or Sagomon.
Yeah.
So when they
makes sense.
reincarnated, they left the dark area. And when Sagomon and Vamdemon reincarnated, they stayed. And obviously,
Ooh.
you were reincarnated by Caramon, so you
Yeah.
weren't judged.
Mm-hmm. Skipped.
Yeah, I like that as an ending. So they had their memories wiped and returned to the nice side of the digital world. And the other two, it'd be more like Vamdemon and Sagomon had their memories wiped. Perhaps Astamon and Felismon held on to those memories somehow. That's why Felismon sort of remembers you.
Felismon didn't at first. He gained back those memories thanks to the stone or whatever.
Okay. Maybe actually that makes more sense actually. Everyone had their memories wiped, but Astamon clung on to the memory because he vowed to you that he would never forget this life ever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's become such a core part of his Digicore that it's like hard coded into him, and he'll never forget the life that he just had. So that's maybe
Yeah.
Astamon is the only one that remembers you, and everyone else is
Yeah.
forgotten.
We'll have to see him at some point now.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Looks like a
introduce-
pretty important character.
Yeah, I might introduce him in the next few episodes. Considering we've introduced him here, it's quite a nice surprise to include a Digimon that I hadn't accounted for in the story.
Oh man, now the Vortex Warriors look even more like dicks.
Yeah, I mean, from their perspective though, right? There's an uprising in the dark area. The angels have said, "Yo, bad Digimon are here. Kill them, please." And then they've arrived on the scene and gone, "Oh no, bad Digimon. Let's attack them." Like,
Yeah.
they weren't given the proper context of, some of these Digimon might be redeemable. They were just, these are evil Digimon who have been imprisoned. Stop them from escaping. Is their idea. So from their perspective, they're upholding justice, and from your perspective, it's like, but we're actually good on the inside, please.
Yeah.
I really like this dichotomy they've sort of set up in this digital world, where there's like actual good and evil, and there's also virus and data, and there's the misconception that one of them's actually evil and one of them's not. Yeah, it doesn't look like Kageaki will make it back. He's sort of screaming any minute now.
He's
for,
getting,
like, the past,
he's getting there, but
past 10 minutes. So
it's. I believe in him. I believe in him. We'll stay at least to inform him of what happened because that would be sad.
yeah.
Uh.
Yeah, I wonder if Udai will rewatch the stream and find out what happened this episode to get all the backstory details and stuff, or
Oh.
if he'll just wait for the recap next time and get you to recap the previously on Digimon.
Yeah. I'll have to recap 2 episodes. Oh. Tough job next time. Starting. He's getting there. He's getting there.
He's starting. He's loading in.
Come on. You can do it.
Well, while Kageyaki returns to
Yes!
us. Hey, there he
You're there.
is, Kageyaki. We just finished the episode. I'm sorry you missed the end. Kageyaki?
Are you
Hello?
actually there?
Are you-
Please.
You're alive.
Yes.
Yay.
That was annoying.
Yeah.
I only took it 13 fucking minutes to boot up. That's a new record.
Oh my god. That's bad.
Yeah, it's so
That's
bad.
awful.
So we just finished the episode, so sorry you missed the end, Kageyaki. We'll just catch you up on what happened. So Pillarmon, or I guess Morphimon, got accepted into the pyramid, and Anubismon judged them. Before we could see what had happened on the scales, we cut to black, and we skipped into the future with Gulfmon leading the rebellion, his last thoughts before fighting the Vortex Warriors. Sorry, I'm going to turn down this music because it's distracting me.
Sorry. Yeah. Well.
So
It's
it's
just
because
the ending song.
it's got lyrics. It really like messes me up when I'm talking. Yes. So the last thoughts they had through his head before trying to lead the rebellion of the Dark Side and face the Vortex Warriors was,
Sure.
"I will save my family. They deserve to see that blue sky too." And then we see the scales that Anubimon had, and their feather was heavier than Pillarmon's heart, so she passed the test, but nobody else did, and so she's leading the rebellion to save everybody else. And then after the rebellion, when everyone else was dead, we got a post-credit scene of all of the general scales, and Astamon and Felosmon were deemed good and were let go, whilst Vamdimon and Sagomon were deemed to still be too evil to let loose and were reincarnated back into the dark area, which is why they had their memories wiped. They were deemed too dangerous because of what happened with the rebellion. So Vamdimon doesn't remember anything, and neither will Sagomon. But Astamon, and never did Felosmon until he regained his memory. But Astamon, because he vowed that he would never forget this life, it became imprinted in his digicore, and he can never forget it. So when he gets reborn, he actually remembers everything.
Great. I'm not sure if you figured it out, but I tried very hard to make him a proper ally instead of a clusterfuck that it usually goes by.
Yeah, I'm happy with him to be an ally. I will introduce him in future episodes, probably, to aid you guys. It's been a while since we've had some good old-fashioned allies appear.
I know,
remember,
right?
Do you remember in season 1 where like every other episode it'd be like, here's a new ally and here's a problem they're facing, and then like by season 2 or season 3 it was just like, here's an enemy, they're trying to destroy the world, attack them. Rather than being an ally.
That's how it goes.
That's why I turned him into an actually good guy, to have some fucking help here and there.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so we have Astamon now, which is great. Dainzu in the chat just said, damn Vortex Warriors be like, are we the bad guys?
Are we the baddies?
Yeah, it's like the what's it called, Mitchell and Webber show where they're with the Nazis and they're like, are we the bad guys? We have like skulls on all of our like badges and stuff. Are we the bad guys here? Yes, exactly that meme. Exactly that meme.
It's a
Kanye.
famous line. It's a really famous line.
Exactly that meme. I love the Mitchell and Webber show. But yeah, we'll leave the episode there. Unfortunately, we can't do like, did you grow closer or anything, but I'm happy for you to both mark potential for being in the session. if you'd like to.
Absolutely. One step closer to the edge, and I'm about to.
And I remove insecure because I did have
Yeah,
Again,
it was just Pillowmon that was insecure.
I didn't even get to roll.
that's
You,
true.
you don't always need to. You can sometimes just roleplay and have fun with it, which is basically
Yeah.
what we were doing.
Also,
this
it
whole
makes
session.
sense for a flashback to be a bit more light.
Yeah. We only had like 2
Dice
rolls
rolling.
in the entire thing, I think.
Yeah.
And they were both by the main character.
Sorry, kid. Better luck next time.
Shut up, Klein. Come back with your main character.
Cool.
But
So, like I said before.
when could-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering when would be a good time to explore your flashback then, because we're right in the middle of the last arc, as from what I gathered. So
There will be a good time to explore Doraemon in a
Ooh.
few upcoming episodes that I have
Okay.
planned in the horizon, mainly because it has elements of things about his backstory attached to it. So yeah, potentially we'll have.
He's pretty related to most of the stuff going on.
well, that's fine. If that's already planned.
I mean,
ooh.
we usually only do flashbacks if someone can't make it, but obviously we can always do a flashback episode if we want to, just in general.
Yeah.
Just let me know. in
Yeah,
advance.
if we require the context, for example.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I said before, I'm not free next Sunday because my wife made plans. So it'll be
In
the
that case-
following Sunday that I'll be able to play. If that's okay.
In that case, we'll just make a flashback episode by ourselves.
You're gonna screw up all the lore that I spent time building for you guys.
Yes.
And actually, Caramon is
I'm gonna-
already dead.
I'm gonna come back and it's gonna be like, oh yeah, and Caramon's actually a good guy, and this guy wasn't actually Caramon. He's just being possessed by someone, and
Yeah. And Dorumon is actually the second cousin of Yggdrasil, and they were married in another life.
yeah, and Doraemon actually invented the X antibody. Really, it's like, he was the one that caused the virus to happen in the world.
Oh, boy.
Funny you mentioned that Dorumon is the first Digimon to ever exist. So in a way, he did invent it.
Probably. Yeah, secretly, Leomon this entire time has been a double agent spy. He's working for Caramon.
That bastard. We need to kill
yes.
him now.
And then he will warp evolve to Stretch Leomon or Beyblade Leomon.
Digimon was right all along. Being racist is the way forward. No. Yeah. Well, anyway, so next session will be 2 Sundays' time, and we'll conclude what happens in the Phallusmon fight. Hopefully everyone can make that. Good session, guys. Thanks for showing up. We actually made it a full session as well, which is absolutely amazing.
As I said, like Dorumon and Pillowmon have a fuck ton of lore to actually go into.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Okay, cool. Well,
I'm glad we managed to put that in somehow. Thank you, Yudai, for not making it at the very last minute.
wow. Right.
I mean, it was fun. So
Well, anyway, I'll let you all go now because I know it's quite late on your end. It's probably like half midnight or something for you guys.
Yeah, it's past midnight, but like I'm actually quite awake. I took a nap in the noon, so I woke up at 6 p.m.
ooh,
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's a
Big
very
nap.
late wake up.
Yeah, that is how afternoon naps typically go.
But
Okay.
I'm sure Elephant's quite sleepy as well. I don't know, it's very late anyway, and you probably want to be able to do other things. So I'll end the stream here. Thanks for all 3 viewers that were watching today. We actually
Oh my god,
broke
new
3
record.
Wow.
We broke the viewer records that we've had so far. So thanks to everyone that tuned in and watched.
So that's the way. We need to get less players so we can get more viewers.
Perfect. Let me get my shotgun.
Right. Well, I'll sign off the stream now. So thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you, everyone.
See you in 2 Sundays' time for the next episode, hopefully. So catch you guys later.
Be there or be
hope.
square.
Yeah, be there or be square. Catch you guys later.